breeze blowing, storm clouds moving in. Whatever's gonna happen, it's about to begin. I remember what the drunk donkey told me when he said, son, don't fear. Mike's where the page life is about to begin. Then he's gonna tell you about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you which way it's going, if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news that they try to hide. Just look on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. There'll always be some haters, but they don't understand that Mike's got a friend and 100,000 more across the land. Well, if you want to know it first and you want to know it right and you want to have time to plan, Drunk Donkey Nation tells your friend Mike, he's your man. Then he's gonna tell you all about the wind and the rain. Gonna tell you if it's gonna be a storm or if it's gonna be a hurricane. Don't you worry about the news others try to hide. Look on Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nationwide. Yeah, here in Mike's page, Drunk Donkey Nation pride.
All right, what's up, world? Camera on, activated. The one-man band producer over here, clicking buttons. If you knew the amount of steps that I have to click to get this to work. It used to be easy. It was just Facebook with no picture. Kimmy, it was a cool song. That was the OG. I love that song. It was my original Andy Simmons song. It was awesome. So let me see if I get my channel up here. Let me see if I can find it real quick. So how y'all doing? We're going to talk weather here in a second. Good morning. Had my little walk this morning. Felt good. Blood pressure's looking good. Always liking that. Got Longo on my lap today. No Louie. Louie's in his banana bed. So we'll say hi. 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 What's up? Ponce Inlet. Was that where I was yesterday? Where's Lighthouse Point Park? So Saturday I did go to Astor. Saw a little bit of the St. John's flooding. It wasn't too bad. And then I went down to Ormond Beach. Holy cow. Those waves were crazy. Incredible waves. And then I went down to the lighthouse. Carson saw me for Daytona. Well, hey, welcome, man. We're going to Talladega in a week. Bucks game was great. Ian, oh my goodness. Mark, we're talking about that nor'easter. Yes, there's a sneaky little low popping on the radar that we're going to talk about for the, unfortunately, the Carolinas too. Fish storm, Texas. Well, maybe not. Hopefully. Fish storm is only when it doesn't affect anybody. So let's hope. Still got to watch it, Caribbean and Bermuda. But you okay, buddy? What's up? West Georgia. What's up, Lisa? We love Valdosta area. There's a Texas Roadhouse there that I love. What are you doing? You all right? You got hair in your mouth or something? Oh, he does have a little piece of hair. He's like a little vacuum cleaner. He picks all this stuff up. Yesterday I pulled up, must have been an Emmy hair, and it just kept coming out. I'm like, oh, God, I was like down in his stomach. Oh, anyway, how's everybody doing? We're going to talk to about 9:30. We'll say hello. What's up, Steve? What's up, Ryan? We had a terrible storm here last night. I kept getting lightning alerts, and I assumed it was like a different area that I was in, and it was in my phone. No, it was home. Next thing you know, DirecTV went out. Power went out at home. We lost internet for 4 hours. I had no idea we were going to have any storms. My buddy rode his motorcycle, Paul. He's the one that actually went and started looking at Dennis Phillips' page while we're eating and watching the Bucks game. I'm like, what are you doing, Paul? He's like, I want to see what the weather's doing. I'm like, okay, thank you. It might have been the Miller Lite pictures too. Maybe he didn't trust me, but we got to watch it on Julie's phone before the signal came back. But what a game. It was fun. Everybody says, why didn't I have backup? I do have a 0E, by the way, Furman. I took it out the other day. I keep one in my truck, and the one that I use in the house I took out tailgating, and lazy me didn't put it back in because I didn't think we were going to ever have any storms in the last week. I keep it out. Didn't put it back in because I thought we were going to have no storms. Shelly, good morning. Shelly from Key West, what's up? Storms again today, Ryan. Yeah, we're going to talk about that, little sneaky storms. You had power out in 10 hours, Beth, and clear. See, did anybody expect this on the west coast of Florida? Because I sure didn't. I'm usually pretty up on the weather. And I didn't. Let's see. Let's get a screenshot here. What are we going to use here? Let's look at this here. We got to do our screenshot longo. Let's look. We're looking. Okay. Surf City, North Carolina, you got a sneaky little system rolling in. We're going to talk a lot about here in a little bit. Tropics, obviously, number one focus. We're going to talk about Mary from Maryland. King Tides, Shelly, heck yeah, man. Ma'am. But I say man a lot. Does he got any bigger? I don't think he's got any bigger. Longo's still got big ears. He's a good boy. He doesn't get in gremlin mode as much as he used to. He goes outside and goes potty on the mat. But it's better than the house. You good boy? One more yawn before we go? He gets mad when I put him up like this. Let's see if he growls. No, he's just a little puppy dog. He's almost 6 months old. He's very hyper. I'm the dog whisperer. All right. You can say dude when you're down at the Keys. I'm usually up on the weather, Jan. Yeah. Well, I got so tired of these rain forecasts busting on the East Coast, I just assumed that there was no more moisture left because the East Coast got bust forecast. Now, today and tomorrow, it's like sneaky rains are coming in off the Atlantic. Shelly said it's already thundering over there. So, Seminole had big lightning. Yeah, Tiff. It's crazy, right? Did anybody expect it? I don't think so. Merritt Island, storming. Yeah, that's where Shelly's around that area too, Alicia. Man, doggy's sweet. Thank you, ABC. Yep, big thanks to ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. My good friends there. We had 2 awesome meet and greets. The one over at Cocoa Beach was crazy, man. They were wrapped in. I got to tell you a funny story. But when I went to the ABC, they had masking tape with an X and a line, and they were like, "This is how we control the crowds." And I'm like, "Wait, ain't nobody coming. There'll be a couple people rolling in here and there, you know." I'm like, "They don't need no lines." People waited in line like 45 minutes. I felt so bad for them. Then we ran out of koozies. It happens, but it was an awesome time. So I'm stocked up, ready for Talladega. Can't wait for that. Here's current radar while we say a few more hellos, man. We got some sneaky little lines up through Mississippi and Louisiana this morning. There's coastal rains coming in today. If you didn't get it, you're going to get it because we got a lot of moisture now coming back in off the Atlantic. That's current radar. So storming there around the Cape. And got some near jacks coming in. That flow basically coming in today. That's what it looks like. But, whoops. Yes, that's Freebird, by the way. That's my ringtone. Biloxi storming. Yeah, I see it right there. Got some storms in Biloxi. Got some there in Mobile, too. Can't wait for Dega, Tyler. We'll be there. We got a race car. We got a car in the Xfinity race. Zilly from Palm Beach. What's up? A lot of Merritt Island folks. Pretty awesome. All right, let's talk a little bit about the weather. Here's a future radar, by the way. I'll leave this up real quick. Future radar. Chastain, I know. Did it help him? He crossed the line backwards. Then I heard something that if Denny would have let him pass him, that it might have eliminated Logano. Was that true or something? I didn't really catch it. Oh, by the way, I always do a show and tell. This was our house last night. This was we had lanterns. we used our hurricane kit last night at home. We had lanterns out. Carmen from Oldsmar. Hey, did you get some of that sneaky storm? I caught a little mini hurricane last night. Weather pattern should change eventually, Clark. These fronts should start rolling down a little bit deeper. So, this is future radar. That stuff, and look at that little low. Look at that spinner, man, going up there around Arkansas. Look at that little Arkansas low. See that coming up off the Gulf? That was that low that was marked. Remember last week we were showing the vorticity map on the Euro, and it had two spots. We had a low there by the Bahamas. We had a low in the upper Gulf, and that, sure enough, they're weak. But there's that sneaky little mess down in the Bahamas still. Look at this future juice again today. So no more sneaky storms for me today. It looks pretty juicy across the whole southeast here as that brews on the east and ends up over here on the west. And that includes part of the Big Bend area and Panhandle. You might have a line coming across the whole Panhandle, Tallahassee today. So look to your east today. Nassau, well, it's going to be hit or miss. Nothing tropical. All right, so let's talk about things. What do we got pulled up here? So first off, tropics is coming, but this is our U.S. hazards map looking long range. And look, nothing other than winter, Wednesday, winter, or that's Tuesday, that's Wednesday. Winter Friday, Maine, Vermont, New Hampshire. Do you remember we learned where the Vermont? This is how I got through college. Everything's word association, pictures. V, Vermont. Looks like a V. See that? But anyway, no weather anywhere significant to talk about. Look at 3 X's. Remember the game? What was that game with 3 X's? Was it was it the Whammy? No? I don't know. I just had a flashback of Wink Martindale. Remember Wink Martindale? And 3 X's. What game show had 3 X's? I can't remember now. I am starting to get a little mind block here and there. I always figured that day would come. Where now I'm getting I'm getting a little older. Tabletop Geek, yeah, you got a little weather coming your way. You sent Shelly flowers yet? Judy got some pumpkin cupcake with cream cheese frosting. Oh my God. Oh my God. I don't eat that sugar no more. You guys are crazy. Password, was that it? Daytona Beach. Hey, is it Aurora? Aurori? How do you say your name? I was just in Daytona Beach. Family Feud, maybe. Family Feud, that's what I was thinking about with the big 3 X's. That's what I was thinking about. Remember Richard Dawson? He used to kiss all them girls. You couldn't do that nowadays. I love the old game shows, man. That was so fun. I used to wake up every morning to Price is Right and chips. I love my chips, man. Shelly, I know. Tic-tac-toe. All right, let's talk about tropics. Then we'll do some shenanigans at the end of the live. Okay, Kimberly, good morning. Hey, over on TikTok, we got some AI that's cutting out my face and audio and putting it on these weird graphics, like storms that aren't even happening, and I can't stop it. I mean, I would hope you realize it's some weird account. But every now and then I get somebody that says, Mike, why are you talking about this? I'm like, because it's not me. It's AI. My account over there has almost 700,000 followers. So if you think you're getting spammed by anybody, you look at the follower count, because the fake accounts have like 30 followers. Solyndra from the Appalachians. Small Wonder. I don't know if I remember that one. Chips was I love Chips, Jenny. Ponch and John, man. But that's how my mom and Dad would associate trips. Like, how long is it? They'd be like 2 trips. So, all right, let's talk about the weather. I promise we'll say hello at the end, but I want to go all weather now. Snuff shenanigans out there. So, this is the only thing on the tropics map today, okay? This is it. This is it. No more yellow X's. This is it. This is Invest 95. Notice the development. They don't the euro isn't expecting development for a little while. So, it's still, I think it's still 70%, I think. I don't even know. It doesn't matter. It's whatever it is. But the good news is it looks like it's clipping the Caribbean. It could clip east of Bermuda. That's all we got. We're going to talk about that here. Full moon, though, I want to show you this. We're at 99.5 full moon. This is going to make this nor'easter that we could be looking at the end of the week a big issue for especially the Outer Banks, again, still, northward. Because we're in the first, what do they call it, the super moon or whatever. But anyway, it's there. Big moon tonight. I want to point this out. There's your rainfall. So, you might not have got what you thought you were going to get on the East Coast. That's a pretty cool line right there. You might not have got what you think you're going to get. But there's your rain. We got a front line coming down. Could be some rain there in the yellow tomorrow down in South Florida. And then it's pretty much dry here on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So a couple more. And then there's that coastal low setting up. Excuse me. That's Friday. So whatever's coming out of this front line, it's going to start working its way north. That's Friday. And that's going to extend north, guaranteed. So we're going to talk about that too. Here's that front line just to give you an idea tomorrow. There it is. That's what's coming. You look at the 5-day. Probably hard to see on your teeny little screens there. But this is Thursday. But you can see the line coming down. Friday, Saturday. Look at that. There's our little low. There's a tight little low. There's a tight little low. So it might not get named. It might not be marked because it's technically hooked into a front line. Tropical systems need to be independent. It's like they can't be connected to a front. So, believe it or not, it actually might feel like something tropical. But end of the weekend, unfortunately, Carolinas again could be sneaky. Here's Invest 95 taking its time, looking at you, 2 eyeballs there, going there. So that's what we got in the Middle Atlantic. Latest spaghetti models here on Tropical Tidbits. The good news there is a couple things. One is this. That's Bermuda. And there is the Caribbean. Another curve. The year of the curve. Harvest moon. Is that what they're calling it? Okay, harvest moon. Yeah, we learned things together. Awesome. Harvest moon. There you go. So, the year of the curve. Why the curve? It's just crazy. August, we started getting cold fronts. Cold front after cold front after cold front. Lingering fronts. Guess what? That makes the Bermuda high weak. Storms follow that Bermuda high. They have nowhere to go. High pressure here, very weak, and they curve around it. Front lines weaken that high. That's what we've seen all year. The year of the curve. For sure. All right, so what else we got to talk about? Let's go over here. That's X. Well, that's my X account. Nothing's over there. All right, winds. So let's talk about a couple things. One, there's nothing else really brewing to talk about. Okay, I know there's a lot of chitter chatter about the Caribbean. There's a lot of, I hate to say the word hype, but my new stance is I'm not going to talk about something that's not there. There's always going to be a storm for somebody sometime. I could say watch the Caribbean and it's going to be right one day, but until we see something, I'm not going to stress about it. Because we've kind of went down this all year long with phantom storms, and I wish it was easier. People want me to be Nostradamus, but I'm not. So I'm not going to be that guy to tell you what you want to hear. Some of you want to hear there's a storm. And I get it. A lot of people work in the industry, and I get it. I'm there with you. I know. These linemen and disaster relief companies, and they're just sitting there waiting for something. Nobody roots for destruction, but it is a big industry, and a lot of people's livelihoods depend on it. Insurance adjusters. It's just, we have nothing right now. So, loves the curves. The curve is the word. But this coastal low is going to be interesting, okay? This is really kind of interesting. Yesterday, did you watch my walking and talking yesterday? I mentioned the nor'easter possibly setting up. Well, this morning, it definitely got a lot more support on the models. These are wind maps, and these are gusts. But look at Virginia Beach, 63. That means the Outer Banks. And unfortunately, as this thing goes by, the counterclockwise rotation of the winds is going to push winds into those areas that don't need it again. Now, the GFS is a little farther off to the east before it kind of goes to the north. So this just kind of paints the picture. I always like putting a couple models. It's looking at what we're looking at possibilities, not exact data. We just know there's going to be a low pressure coming up. It's going to hug the coast this weekend, and there's going to be a lot of wind. Wind. Here are your ensembles showing you a couple things. So I drew it out ABC. ABC. I didn't even think about it. That's my marketing brain. ABC. Well, I should have put A up top. B, C. That's terrible marketing. Mary, if you're watching. Sean, if you're watching. It's ABC, not BCA. So A is Invest 95. Notice most of the ensembles are curving north of the islands. That's a given. So we're not going to talk about that anymore. B is the low pressure. Now, these maps are confusing. Okay, look at the top right here. These are pressure codes. Blue is 980 to 999 pressure, which could mean tropical storm-ish, even borderline hurricane-ish. Pressures, though, don't always mean organized storms, but pressures mean winds regardless. So you could have a low-pressure system over land, like 979. You're going to have a lot of wind and storms sometimes. So low pressures indicate wind and rain and storms and waves, and doesn't mean it's organized. To be organized, like I said, it has to be independent. This is a frontal line low. Maybe it'll become subtropical. Who knows? I don't get in all that. It just impacts are the same regardless, named or not. If it isn't, we'll name it. We already used the name Bob. Let's do this one. Let's call this one Frank. Frank the front. Front to Frank. Frank the front. So officially we got Frank on the horizon. Frank. But then number C is the Caribbean. This is not really a lot. You remember there's 51 members of the Euro. There's 31 members of the GFS. And you look for something and you don't see it. You see the CAG. I've talked about the CAG. We know it's there. Historically, we know it's a prime spot to watch. But heck, even yesterday, the GFS had a really bad hurricane do this. We had some miss Florida. We had some go up here. We've had some do nothing. So there's just nothing. But this is a spot to watch as we get into the middle to the end of the month. It is. We got La Nina, low wind shear. We got low pressures. We got hot water. All that's there. But until we have something, we don't worry about it. So here's some individual maps here on Tropical Tidbits. We're going to really break it down here in a little bit. This is just confirming a big low pressure system. This is Saturday. Look at that. Low pressure right off the coast. Look at the GFS. Look at the Canadian. So, and the Euro ensemble chances for tropical storm, I was really surprised it's even showing that for the weekend. Blue is pretty high. I was a little surprised we didn't get a yellow circle, honestly, to tell you the truth. Frank gets no love. All right, so let's zoom in a little closer to everything because we got a lot of people watching. Like I said, winds are going to be an issue. Let's zoom in on this whole thing now. Let's go to the southeast. Now watch what happens. We get a front come down this week. This is the GFS, Tropical Tidbits. Here's your front line. It's bringing all that rain Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Then a little energy comes up here. Look what starts to brew on Friday. And it starts to spin as it goes north. 996 pressure. And unfortunately, this is going to put those wind barbs coming in from the northeast towards the Outer Banks again on Saturday. And then GFS kind of hooks it a little bit more up and towards, we'll zoom out here in a second to the northeast, but I wanted to show the thinking of it. The frontal line, low pressure, gets spinning, and there you go. 000, well, this is all we're going to talk about. The Caribbean isn't my concern right now. Here's 00Z, kind of hooking around there. Goes up, 994 pressure. I wish I could go more East Coast. Let's go to East Coast too. Eastern Seaboard. Here we go. All right, so here we go. This is the 00Z. So there's your low pressure, and look what it does in New England area. This is on Sunday, so it's going to bring some weather. 993 pressure. It's going to bring some wind and waves, man. That's your first official, possibly nor'easter. I don't know if it's first official. I don't know. I don't even know if it's a nor'easter. I think it's a. What is the definition of a nor'easter? I'm pretty sure it's a frontal line low, I assume. I'm not really a New England guy. I try to be. Boy, I'll tell you one thing I learned. Don't ever. Well, it's a winter storm. No, it's extratropical cyclone. Cold core. Clash of frigid. Oh, now Shelly's telling me. Who needs AI when you have Shelly? Anyway, all right, so we'll learn that another day. It's a low pressure system. All right, look at the euro, same thing. So definitely something you're going to want to keep your eye on. Here's a little bubble on Friday popping. Tightens up a little bit. And, 990 pressure, man, right at North Carolina there. That's a 6Z. Look at that. That's classic, man. This is like, maybe I'll be heading up there on Sunday before Talladega. Look at that. Holy moly, that's 990 on Sunday morning. Jeez. That's interesting, man. Before it gets on out of here. So that's sneaky. That's definitely going to be something we're going to watch this week. 990 isn't like scary, but it's tropical storm winds. We're going to look at some wind forecasts here in a little bit. We got a high pressure to the north, so we could see some issues there. AI, kind of showing you the same thing. AI hasn't impressed me this year, but it's doing the same thing. Maybe the AI is better at regular weather. Canadian model, a little more off, but it shows you the same idea. A little bit of turn in there to New England area. Icon does a little better on these type of systems. And there's 1008. So what is interesting, though, is this front line looks like it's going to linger down in South Florida, and we could see some extended weather coming in off the Atlantic through the week here. Here's the low pressure icon, and it pulls it northward too. So that's basically what we got going on, man. I really want to dive deep into the winds and stuff. Unfortunately, we're going to see what kind of winds we're going to get here. So let's go back to Euro and look at some upper level dynamics. Kind of want to see the high pressure place. So we're going to have a pretty strong high to the north. Mid-level low absorbing into that. See that? So we got a little mid-level low. That's going to add to the rain chances for sure before it gets on out of here over the weekend. Let's look at some wind. Let's look at 850 winds. Some pretty powerful mid-level winds there. Man, it's going to be definitely some weather. Maybe I should look at some flights. Talladega's coming, but I could get a little storm chasing in before. I promised the Carolinas I would head up there one time. Now here comes the text from Shelly saying, no, I should just stay home and get packed for our trip. Waiting for it. Let's say hi to a few more people. Nostradamus, Inspector Mon. Oh, Florida man. Yeah, neighbors under tarp some Helene. Can you believe Milton and Helene were a year ago now? We were talking about Milton already. Unbelievable. Just can't believe all the crap last year we've had. And luckily this year, knock on wood. Oh, no, she's being... Go Chase. Oh, yeah, Julie will... Yeah, well... I wouldn't leave. Well, Saturday, Emily's got softball, so I would leave Saturday night. All right, so there's some pretty good-looking winds here on radar. Not good-looking this on radar. They look good. Whatever I meant by that. Lower level winds. Still some power. These are 10-meter winds. Wow. man, we can see some pretty big winds here up the coast. Virginia there, Delaware, up around Jersey. We had a lot of people in Jersey, right? There you are. Let's go. I just mentioned you. Jersey, right there. Boom. This is Saturday and Sunday. Big winds along the Jersey shore. Powerful winds. Now, it could change. You know it could change. But the modeling now is interesting. All right, let's go to the windy map here. Windy has a really cool. You can zoom in on the winds a little better. I'll take off the barbs. Well, no, we'll leave the barbs up. Barb. My aunt's name is Barb. Barbara. Bob. So what's weird about me, when I grew up, my mom and dad, I was in the 70s, 80s, so 20-year-old music was kind of like listening to the 2000s. So I remember listening to all these 50s records, and we had a record player, and I remember listening to all these records, man, the 33s, the 45s. I remember listening to all these old 50s songs, man. For some reason, I was addicted to the 50s music. All right, so we're going to zoom in here to this tight little low here. You can kind of get an idea where the winds are going to be. This is too fast. Let's go to Sunday, 5 a.m. So here's Saturday, 4 p.m. Obviously, the winds are coming in from the northeast. Let's take a look at wind gust. You know, we can get some 50, 60 mile an hour winds here. I mean, that's pretty big, right? If it gets that close to the coast. Where's my wave map at? Where'd it go? Where are you? So there's some waves, obviously. Be depending on how strong the low is, but you know, you add in the high tides, obviously. So let's go back to winds. They do have a cool feature here, and it's wind accumulation. I don't think they had that last year, but this at least looks at the winds that you're going to get. You know, here's Jersey. You know, we can see 68 mile an hour winds for y'all up there. That's crazy, right? Nobody had this on their bucket list for next weekend. This is on the Euro, of course. This is one model, but this kind of gives you the idea of some of these wind gusts that we could see. And the GFS, because it goes farther to the north, a little to the east, we don't have those effects. So it's not a guarantee, but definitely something to keep an eye on. For sure. There's the icon showing you those big winds. So that, you know, that's what we do. Talk about upcoming weather. So what's the Michigan song? I missed the Michigan song. What side of Michigan? I don't know. Michigan. There's not a lot for y'all. I haven't really seen anything weather-wise in Michigan. I don't know. I can't cover all the states. I'll try, but I don't see anything coming. First thing you do when you wake up in the morning, look at these Storm Prediction Center maps. You don't really see dark green, which is good news. You don't see any long range. You see cold weather. I always often wondered, if you go up here to North Dakota and you cross the state line, is there no more freeze warnings? I mean, the freeze warnings just stop. I'd always want to put 1 foot in the freeze warning and 1 foot in the other side to see if there's a difference in temperature. I know, it's silly, but, you know. All right, let's look at weather nerds. All right, weather nerds. Let's take a look at long-range forecasting. Let's see if there's any lows down here to worry about. I don't see any. Now, these are low-pressure lines. Remember, these aren't systems. These are just low-pressure. So there's that little low down here that finally gets lifted to the north. It could be mingling with that low we've been talking a lot about, too. It's kind of a weird setup. I don't know, really. it's kind of fuel. It's kind of a multi-low situation. Low, low, low. But anyway, here's the lows. Then some of these are 970 low pressures. These are tied into that front, but still significant pressure readings that could cause some weather if it gets that close to the coast. And then down here, yes, we're seeing some lows pop up. So, but notice how a lot of them miss Florida. These go out 240 hours. So look at that. If you went to 240 hours, this is where we'd be at. Now there's a couple popping into the scene here, yeah, but nothing. It's just nothing yet stressful. But this, here's your CAG down here setting up. This is the low pressure area. I'll talk more about this tomorrow. I did a post yesterday about what this whole setup means, but we have to save something to talk about tomorrow. The Euro, let's look at the GFS, and oh my God, what the heck? I don't even know what I'm looking at. Mass confusion. All right, so we got, obviously, we're the curve, we know that's it. So there's that low off the coast here. We're going to see if it gets close to what impacts it brings to the eastern seaboard. And then we go out to next Monday, the CAG, I don't know. There's some low pressures pulling up, yes, but maybe it'll hook. And this is what I want to show you. Like, look at yesterday. So, like, here's the CAG setup. This is what the GFS did yesterday. I think it was yesterday. Maybe it was 00Z. I don't remember. Yeah, there it is. See? And then it goes north. I mean, I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's something. This is 17th October. And then it kind of does that. But we're 384 hours. So this is Friday, October 17th, right? Go to the 6Z, nothing. No confidence. Go to yesterday's 18Z. A little weak low here on the 17th. Spins it up as nothing big. Yesterday's 12Z pulls up a system into South Florida. This would be the 18th and 19th. And here, see, this is that Euro I showed yesterday. This whole general area right here. Low, low. And this is the CAG setup. So, I mean, we know to watch the area. We just can't let any one of these runs. Because realistically, it's showing a hurricane in the Yucatan. It's showing something of Texas, Louisiana. It's showing something in Florida. The Euro. Let's look at the latest overnight Euro. And nothing to the 21st. Yesterday's 12Z Euro. I think we learned a little bit too this year. We put too much stock in the ensembles because the ensembles don't show all 51. So 30 might show something, but 20 are still saying no. And it looks like a really high confidence with those 30, but sometimes if the other 20 don't agree, then it's only 50% confidence. Does that make sense? So we still have to, we can't forget about the operational runs. All right, so nothing there. Euro AI, not showing anything really until the 21st. Remember, I'm selfishly asking myself about Talladega right now. I really don't want to. Last year's Talladega, I did every live in the morning from the RV and every evening live from the RV, which is fine. I don't mind doing it, but it's just not my normal home setup. So it's a little more stretched. Okay, let's look at the blah, 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 blah. The Google ensembles. I don't think they're doing that great this year. Here's that low. Not really showing anything else to talk about. Couple, but nothing. So, so we got that low. We got a little low. It's not, and then we go to the classic blended model map here. I want to show you. Oh, I made it too big. I got all messed up. I'm so creature of habit. I didn't know where to click. So we look at tropical depression formation. Obviously, the colors are deceiving because sometimes it'll pick up on low pressures that aren't actually developed tropical systems. But it gives you an idea where the curve's coming, where this frontal line is that we're looking at. And then we're going to start to see any areas down here. Here's the CAG set up around the 14th. And it doesn't really bring anything north. Go to tropical storm, very weak signal here on the 16th. And notice a weak system follows this general western track because of the wind, the steering winds. So unless the system's strong, it won't be able to outbattle the wind pattern that we see down there. So what's all that mean? There's just nothing to worry about right now, okay? Hurricane season ends November 30th. How about that? But that's it, man. That's a good little live today, I think, wasn't it? I don't see any other on the map here to talk about. Let's talk about this while we say goodbye here. Whoops. Where's my image at? I wanted to pull up. So. Uh-oh. Hey, look at that. I like that. Shrimp, dog. Yeah, we can come up with something. Off season. Alrighty, well, let's say hi for a few more minutes. Sierra, right? No hurricane in Tampa, let's hope, right? Did I miss anybody trying to say hello? Heather, hometown hero? Not me. I was trying to find, let me pull up my graphic here. Here it is right here. This is what I want to pull up. This one. And this one. So it's never enough time to talk about the fun stuff. So let's talk about the fun stuff coming up. Okay, so last year we did an end of the season benefit party. Neighbors helping neighbors. We have no idea who might need the money this year. We'll wait and see. But we donated $15,000 last year because of you. This year it's going to be a camp Margaritaville in Auburndale, just outside of Tampa. We got a band, Daniel Burns Band, a badass band coming. We got going to have a semi-formal dinner Friday night. We're going to have people down from Tallahassee, the state. It's going to be a great cause that you can stay at, if not, or we're going to have tickets just for the event Friday night. But we'd love to see you camping, because Saturdays it's going to be laying around a pool and chilling, and it's the first full weekend after hurricane season, the 5th. What a way to end this, a yearly tradition. It's going to be our yearly tradition to end hurricane season with a party. And then we start the following year with our 5th annual. So notice this is Margaritaville. There's a Facebook event, and I have a link on the page too, right here. Click. Right here. See it? You click on that, it goes to how you reserve your room or campsite. They have cabins too. And then we start next season in the first week of June on a cruise at Margaritaville. So notice the theme. I love Jimmy Buffett. And a lot of y'all do too. Sarah will sing. Heck yeah, Tammy. They have a stage set up there at Camp Margaritaville, and Sarah always ends up doing karaoke. But seriously, if you like to want to party with MWP and all of our families, then join up. So it's a good time. James, what's up, buddy? Karen, dry air map. We're done with maps right now. I'll do it for you though, since you asked nicely. Let's take a look here. Let me stop right. Boop. There's your dry map. This is frontal line dry. This is dry air basically. But there's a little dust out there and stuff, but not a lot. Anytime you start, this is dusty and dry air. Almost 12-foot skeleton time. I'm going to wait till hey man, that thing might have fell down last night. We had so much wind here. But I put the skeleton up after Talladega. So, thank you, Dirt. Appreciate it. Where did you get the name Dirt? That's even your handle. What's Dirt? Tell me about Dirt. Heather, what video did you see? Good morning, Beth from Melbourne. You're a little late, Beth. We start at 9:19 every day. It has been quiet in AA yet. It has. Actually, it hasn't. We've had 2 Cat 5s and a Cat 4. They just haven't hit anybody. You know what makes an active season? If there are any impacts. 2023 we had 1 impactful storm called Idalia. It's just 1. 2022 we only had 2 impactful storms that hit the U.S. That would be Ian and Nicole. So a season is not defined by the amount of names. It's defined, in my opinion, by impacts. And it only takes 1. I know you hate hearing that, but last year was a rarity. Wendy, we all love Buffett. I got canceled one time because I like Kid Rock, and somebody turned it political, and I'm like, well, do you understand that Buffett's left also? I mean, I'm the most least political guy on the planet. I don't care who you are. I like good music. That's one thing the weather page has taught me. And obviously having a special needs child makes you a lot more open, I think, to things. Got a cold front coming down next week? Yeah, let's talk about that. We do have a cold front coming down. Let's take a look at the old dry air map here on Tropical Tidbits, and you can get an idea. Looking at moisture and kind of see where that front's at. Here it comes. Oof! Dry air. Cool, dry air. Look at that. All the way down to South Florida. We can look at temperatures. Look at the dew point. Any dew point under 70 is chilly. Why can't I see dew point? I don't know. It's not there. Oh, it's up here. Here's your dew point. 60s all the way down to Miami. Look at these 40s and 50s next Sunday. Holy cow. A week from Sunday. That's a long way away. But still. Oh, this is the 60. No, it's not. This is this weekend. Look at these 40s and 50 dew points here. That's a cold front. 60s dew points all the way down to Miami this weekend. So heck yeah, Sunday morning is going to be nice. Look at Monday. Geez, 50s dew point. It's going to be downright fire pit. Gas heater time. Hey, yesterday was National Propane Day. What's up with that? I didn't know that was a day. National Propane Day. What kind of temperatures are we going to get Monday morning? Nothing. Oh! Holy cow. Look at this. Oh my goodness. Look at Sunday morning. Oh Lord, this is like real cold weather. 59 and Panama is a gnat. 50s. Oh man, look at that. Let's see what the GFS says Sunday morning. Oh, Saturday night, man. It's going to be cold. This is true. 60s. Oh my goodness. That's crazy. That's awesome. This weekend. Man, that deserves a post. What the heck is that? Oh, great. I got one of these spam Chrome things now. It's probably going to crash. Great. Well, I need to close Chrome. I saw that pop up. I wonder what site that came from. Can't see from my weather sites. These are obviously virus. You call that number, guess what? They get your credit card. I wonder if it came from weather models. I don't know. That was the last thing I clicked. Anyway, I'll close it down here in a minute. Oh, God, here it goes. Nope, it's working. All right. I'm not going to click anything. We're going to say goodbye before I lose Chrome. But we'll be live tomorrow. All right, y'all be good. And look forward to seeing you tomorrow. We'll do a walking and talking in the morning, all right? And enjoy your day. We'll be watching a little football tonight, so we'll see you later. Alligators, all right? Later. It's took over my browser and everything now. Damn it. I'm going to have to control delete now.